In this video, I'm going to break down 5 common pitfalls that I see CEOs fall into time and time again, and I'll give you some tidbits on how to leapfrog over those pitfalls. Number 1 pitfall of CEOs is the inability to delegate. If you don't learn how to delegate and take things off of your desk, to find the right people, to hire them, to train them, to teach them, to mentor them, that means every task is going to be your own. When you don't delegate, truly delegate, and hand the reins over to someone that's fully trained, well trained, you end up being dissatisfied with the work constantly. And therefore, you want to just take the work over and do it yourself, which leads to adding more things on your plate, slowing you down, and reducing all the time that you have to spend on the business strategically, because you're simply stuck in the tactical. So the inability to delegate is a massive, massive pitfall. Pitfall number 2 is the unchecked ego. The reason this is a problem is because it starts with this limited mindset. It starts with me, how do I benefit myself? And then we'll figure out how to benefit the team. And then we'll figure out how to benefit the customers. When you have a large ego and you're blinded by your own ego, you're usually just thinking about your own personal benefit versus the benefit of the organization. And when that occurs, you can make poor decisions or brash decisions. It's hard to recruit talent because A, players don't want to be on a team with an egomaniac. It makes it very difficult to run and scale a business when you have an unchecked ego. Number 3 is poor decision making. Now, the problem with poor decision making is it leads to delayed decisions or making poor decisions, having groupthink, not really taking in all the inputs and the data to make decisions, kind of shooting from the hip or flying off the cuff, as they say, just a gut feeling for how you make decisions, making short-term decisions, the inability to think long-term, the inability to pull in diverse perspectives to help you make more strategic decisions that lead to bigger investments into the organization. When you have a poor decision-making process, it creates a ripple throughout the business, and your business is never really able to scale or grow because you're constantly making these brash, short-term decisions, because that's your process, versus taking a step back, doing a good strategic plan, getting outside perspective, diverse perspectives, and then really committing to a decision-making process, how you're going to make decisions in the future. It makes all the difference in the business. Pitfall number 4, playing it safe. The challenge with playing it safe is you never take big risks. So you have to ask yourself, how big am I trying to go? How big of a risk am I willing to take? Calculated risks. Great entrepreneurs are good at mitigating risks and they make calculated risks, but you have to take risks. If you play it too safe, you end up being a company of one. You don't want to bring on employees, you don't want to bring on partners, you don't want to make any investments. So you want to make sure that you're not playing it too safe. That when you're building out your strategic plan, your strategic roadmap, you know exactly where you're going to be investing your resources. You know exactly how you're going to scale. You know exactly which risks you're going to take and what you're prepared to lose, because not every risk pays off. So you are going to lose some ground from time to time, but that's okay because you're going to make up ground in the future big decisions, in the future big investments. So playing it safe really isn't a smart move when it comes to growing and scaling an organization. Pitfall number 5 is limited outside perspective. Now, it's true. CEOs can live in ivory towers. They're siloed out. Executive isolation is a real thing. You need outside perspective. You need diverse outside perspectives from outside of your industry in many cases. You need to be able to pull information externally and bring it in. Bring the best of what you find out there into your organization and then apply that information so you can build and scale your business. If all you're ever doing is getting information from maybe 1 or 2 key employees or your spouse, and that's it, that's the full extent of information that you're pulling into the business, you simply won't make it as far as you could if you were bringing in outside diverse perspectives into your business. So here's 5 tips that you can use to overcome these CEO pitfalls. Tip number 1, build trust within your team. Build trust within your systems, build trust within your organization. It's going to take some time, but you have to get your trust level up and up and up to a point to where you feel so confident and so completely involved and invested in the processes and the systems and the team you have, then you can slowly peel back from the business and start investing your time in more strategic decision making. Tip number 2, self-awareness. Know who you are, know how you roll, know how you act in the organization. Ask your employees, do a self-assessment, get an audit, bring people in to tell you the truth, to shoot you straight, pull no punches. You have to know who you are as a leader. how you show up as a leader. Do people enjoy working with you? Now, it doesn't mean it needs to be kumbaya, but if you have an unchecked ego and nobody's telling you about this, that's a problem. So have self-awareness. Tip number 3, embrace innovation. Yes, your business needs to grow, it needs to scale, and you're going to need to take some risks. So embrace innovation. Look forward to making investments. Look forward to making your business bigger and better this year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. You're going to need to advance your innovation mindset, the innovation inside of your business, your technology, your tools, your talent. So embrace innovation, and you'll always be ahead of the competition, and you'll be embracing new risks, new challenges, and building your business into the future. Tip number 4, decision making. You have to make decisions as a CEO. It is what it is. You need to have a good, strong, firm decision-making process. How do you make small decisions? How do you make large decisions? I suggest sitting down, pen and paper, write it out, map it out. What are the mechanisms by which you make decisions within the organization? Then share that with your team and bring that all the way down throughout the organization so everybody's clear on how to address a large decision that needs to be made and how to address smaller decisions inside of the organization. And tip number 5 is having a diverse perspective inside of your organization. It could be as simple as hiring an outside consultant. It could be as simple as joining executive groups or peer advisory groups, masterminds, anywhere where you can start getting some outside perspective, some feedback, some intel, some expertise, some wisdom, some industry insights externally, and then apply what you learn into your business to make it as big and beautiful as you want to make your organization. So these were the top 5 pitfalls that CEOs deal with. I hope you enjoyed this video. I put a link below to my ebook that outlines these top 5 pitfalls, as well as the top 5 opportunities that you can use to jump over those pitfalls when you see them coming.